Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we begin, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would leave a like on this video and also feel free to subscribe. Today we'll be covering the basics of Linux, focusing on the most essential commands you need to know to navigate and manage files. So get ready for a hands-on learning experience. So even though Linux has hundreds of commands, you only need to know about a dozen to perform the most basic tasks. We'll start by exploring the directory structure before moving on to essential commands. Before we start using Linux commands, let's understand how the Linux file system is structured. So you can think of it as an upside down tree, where the root is a slash right at the top, and from there everything else branches on downwards. So one of the most used Linux commands is ls, which lists the contents of a directory. So let's say you're inside the cats directory, as shown here on the tree, and you want to see what's inside. So what you would do is type ls, and this will display the files that are inside the cat directory, which would be lions and tigers. So now let's type it in the terminal. We are currently inside the animals directory, as shown here. Let's type the ls command in the terminal and hit enter to list the contents of our current directory, which in this case is animals. So let's type ls, and this is going to display 5 animals on the screen, which are chimps, cobras, elephants, gorillas, and squirrel monkeys, which is also shown in the tree by showing an image of each animal. Now let's learn another command by checking the contents of a file. The more command lets you view a file's contents one page at a time. For example, to check the contents of the cobras file, you would type more cobras, and we hit enter, and you will see some of the information of the cobras inside the cobras file, such as the name, sex, date of birth, and etc., and with the following data also shown here. And this is all represented by the arrow pointing to the cobra in the tree. Now, to keep our files organized, we use the make directory command to make new directories. For example, to create a directory called primates, you would type mkdir, which stands for make directory, and primates, which is the name of your new directory. And we press enter, and then we press ls to see if it worked. And as we can see, it did. There's now primates inside of the directory animals, which is also now seen in the image of the tree that primates was added to the directory animals as well. Also, the move command allows you to move files to a different directory or rename them. For example, to move chimps into the primates directory, you would type mv, which stands for move, chimps, which is the file you wish to move, and primates, which is where you want the file to be moved to. So now we press enter, and we can type ls to check if it worked, and as we can see, it did, because chimps is no longer in the list of animals. It is now in the primates directory, which can be seen on the image of the tree as well. Now to navigate between directories, we use the cd command, cd, which stands for change directory. So as seen by the image of the tree, we are currently in the animals directory. So now we type cd primates, which means that we want to change the directory called primates. So now we hit enter, and you can see here that our path changed from animals to primates, meaning that we successfully changed to the new directory, which is also seen in the image of the tree that the arrow is now pointing from the animals directory to the primates directory. Now let's say we want to go back to our previous directory. What we would type is cd, a space, and 2 periods. So we will now hit enter, and you will see that our path went from primates back to the animals directory, which is also shown in the image of the tree that was previously pointing to the primates directory that has now returned to the animals directory. Sometimes you might lose track of where you are in a file system. The command pwd, which stands for print working directory, will show your current location. So what you do is you simply type pwd, hit enter, and as you can see, it will show your current path. Now that we know how to navigate and organize files, let's create a new directory for reptiles and move the cobras file into it. So step 1, we're going to create the directory. So you would type mkdir for make directory, and then the name we want it to be called, which is reptiles. We hit enter, and we will now move cobras into it. So we type mv for move, Cobras for the file we want to be moved, and Reptiles for where we want the file to be moved. We then hit enter, and as you can see in the image of the tree, Cobras has been moved into the Reptiles directory. And we can also check by typing in ls to see our files and directories, then typing cd to change directory, and we type Reptiles to choose which directory we want to go into, enter, and then we type ls again to see the files that are inside the Reptiles directory. We hit enter, and as you can see, Cobras is now inside the Reptiles directory. And there you have it. You've now learned essential Linux commands for navigation, file management, and directory organization. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more Linux tutorials. And I'll see you all in the next lesson. Thank you.